Welcome. I see Lava Bison. I see Wild Heart. I see Chubby Hubby. What sounds bad? Oh man, poor Wild. She's been through the ringer. Buy a house. It'll be fun, they said. Right, Wild? Well, if you need a good distraction, welcome this afternoon. I would be more than pleased to distract you thoroughly from any woes you may be having, or at least make a good effort to. Good to see everybody today. Happy hump day and cheers. I'm surrounded by bottles. I actually am today. There's Ma. Cheers. Good morning, Ma. I've been an editing fool for like the last 24 hours. And so I drank through most of all of the last coffee. So I actually have a coffee brewing in the other room. So if you hear it like gurgling around, that's what's happening. And then I'll probably excuse myself here sooner than later so I can go fill my cup up. Okay, so lots going on. I was super bummed and pouty about the weather yesterday. I woke up and I thought that it was supposed to get nicer, starting yesterday, and it turns out it's getting nicer today. Today was kind of the day. But if you've ever been to Montana, lived in Montana, or known a Montana, and you may have heard the saying, if you don't like the weather, just wait a few seconds and it'll change, or a few minutes, or whatever, however the saying goes. And so early in the morning, I'd made a comment. I was like, yeah, maybe later this afternoon it'll get nice and I can get out and do a little bit of exploring. And it waited like until evening. So I did get out though. I did get out and have a little rock walk. So I did a little filming yesterday evening and then came home and washed the rocks up and had to stop and cook some dinner for me and the kid and was like, okay, we'll get back at it. So I did get back at it this morning, and then, like I say, I was an editing fool because I am so excited and can't wait to share that with you guys. I kind of hoped I'd get it done hey, Ryan, welcome. Yeah, you guys, some of you other states can definitely simplify with the weather thing. It's going to be that kind of a day, huh? All right, well. Yeah, so I'd hoped to get that done before we started, but yeah, it's darn nice out today. If the bad 4-letter word just stays away, it's kind of a nice one out there. The coffee sounds so good in the other room. I'm so excited. I don't even know where to start. I honestly don't. Wow. Where do I start? Let's just start talk about what I haven't done yet that I want to do in the near future. Just real quick, like I said, so I can go fill my cup up and then I'll really get started. And I'll really show you guys some stuff. Okay, so Lava found a half an ammonite on our last rock walk. These honestly could use a little cleaning up. They've got some field scuzz and stuff on them, but there's the opal guy. Welcome, opal guy. Happy Wednesday. So I've found several of these ammonites, and after he found his that was already broken half by nature, and we brought it home, and I didn't think it would be that great. I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's in pretty bad shape, but we'll see. Nice, fine. Bring it home. And we put it on the flat lap and it turned out gorgeous. So, like I say, I have several of these, and after seeing his polished on the flat lap, I'm tempted to take these to the Chapa. Oof, I can't get that turned around. Holding 4 of these at once is kind of tricky. I'm tempted to take these to the Chapa and see if there's anything awesome inside. I was like, worst case scenario, I have 4 of them now and I could have 8 of them later. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario is that there's 1 or 2 that are like super gorgeous inside and worth cutting open and polishing. So, but yeah, to be determined, TBT, D, TB, D, T, B, D, T. There's lots of T's and B. Man, it is that kind of you know, I've heard also the saying that you've got to be just a little bit crazy to have a YouTube channel. And if you aren't a little bit crazy, that you will be when you're done. I may be experiencing a little bit of head scramble from the editing that I did. Welcome, Joseph and Rosie. Hey there, Al. Yeah, well, I mean, sure, Ryan. Also, I did some wire wrapping on the lava bison's stone, and they turned out, this one in particular turned out really pretty. And then he determined that maybe there's such a thing as over polishing this stone, since it does the sparkle thing so good when it's kind of more rough. And I mean, it's beautiful when it's super polished, right? But anyway, I went ahead and wire wrapped one. Actually wire wrapped 2, but the other one's over on the coffee table. So yeah, I had done the video, and in the video he had also polished this to like that mirror finish, and you lose so much of that shimmer that's in there that you see in the rough stone. Hi, Cynthia, welcome. So he took this stone back to the 220, I think, as when I looked it up what it was. So there is such a thing as over polishing this material. Don't over polish this material. I mean, do if you want that mirror finish, but if you want it to keep that magnificent luster, flashy stuff, you know, then don't over polish it. So just learning how to work this material. Again, it's something we found out here. No, we still don't know exactly what it is. I've been smooshing everything together, jokingly, of course. I want to stress that, jokingly. I've been smooshing everybody's ideas together in one comical name. I've been saying, you know, it's a pyroxenite mica schist gabbro, or a gabbratic pyroxenitic mica schist, or like, and like I say, I'm definitely joking. Gosh dang it, get in there and look at that for us, would you? I just about dropped it. Slickery little thing. So anyway, yeah, like I say, we're still in the process. This is the same material, like I say, just polished to a diamond paste, I think, even. And then again, rough on the back, so you can still see some of that. It's just, yeah, we're learning as we go. Again, no one's, as far as I know, found one of those rocks out in the field and been like, so here's how you should work this material. Okay, I think for like home front stuff, that kind of touches the bases there, like what we've been up to. And if super shiny right, then they won't pop the little sparkles. You know, you want it to pop the sparkles, you gotta leave it rough. Anyway, thank you, Joseph and Rosie. I'm gonna fill my cup up really quick, and then I'm gonna come back and show you. I wish I knew what rock store she went to. I'm gonna have you guys say the rock stores that are in Quartzsite. I'm sure there's at least a handful of them, but there's like, we'll take a guess. If you guys want to, like, if you guys know of any rock shops that are in Quartzsite that someone might have visited, pop it into the chat and I'll see if I remember her mentioning any of these places, and then we'll look at what she brought. That's kind of a, I know, who's she? We'll get into all of that as soon as I fill my cup up. I'm surrounded by bottles. I'm gonna show you. I'll be right back. Sorry, that was a loud slurp. I'm going to try to be more quiet, but do one more. Sorry. Cheers. Hopefully you've found a comfy chair and you're ready to sink in. Because we're going to look at the goodies that my friend brought back from Arizona. No one knows of the rock shops down there, huh? Slurping is loud. Well, thank you. Yes, yes. Please feel free to join me in the slurp this morning for sure. Guys, want to start with the big ones or the little ones? You want to start with the stuff I've already cut or the stuff I haven't yet? Let's get this a little more set up so I don't take you on a... Did that just come back up? It did. Watch it. Ready? Do you see it? Spooky. Ah! Hey, Betty, welcome. I also have never been. Okay? And so let's start there. I know where to start. Thank you for your input, Ryan. It just put me on the perfect track to start this. Excuse me. Got a little frog in my throat there. Okay, I'm going to move some of this stuff. I got rocks all over the desk. It's great. I love it. How's about, and I'm not saying this is anything that's, you know, the greatest thing in the whole wide world or anything, but what kind of green rocks do you find out in quartzite? Is it quartz or quartzite? Happy Rock Day, Betty. This was at their campfire where they were staying, and she thought that it was like maybe green moss, and she went into the camper and she got a cup of bleach water and a scrubby, and she came out to the campfire and scrubbed on it a little bit and determined that it was not moss that was making this rock green. And then she asked her significant other to whack this rock because it was really huge. And I think I can see where he whacked it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times before he was able to break a big chunk of this off. Can you see the little whack marks? And she investigated it once she could hold it in her hands. And then as they were getting ready to go, he said to her, I don't think I want to bring that rock home. I mean, oh my God, we have so many rocks. Do we really need to bring that rock home? And she commenced to go hiding it under the bed in the camper. So she brought it home. Yeah. So I'm talking about I'm talking about the lava bisons, folks. My mother-in-law, my father-in-law, however you want to. I mean, lava bison and I are not married, but we might as well be. Okay, so anyway, they got bit by the rock hounding bug while they were in Arizona snowbirding. And they brought back a whole bunch of rocks for us to look at. But while we're talking about shenanigans at camp, let's talk about the stuff they found in the campground. At the campground, in the parking lot, in their campground. Other than the rock that was in the fire pit that she snuck home, they found little bits of like rock show stuff, like little left behind abandoned rock show pieces. Like somebody had been sitting in the parking lot working material that they had purchased at the rock show or were taking to the show for sale or whatever the scenario may have been. But yeah, they did like campground parking lot hunting and were able to come up with, this is just 2 examples that I was like, hey, I think I might be able to go make a a cab or something out of those. Let me take those with me. But yeah, she found like an entire Ziploc baggie full of like little arrowheads, like obsidian arrowheads, and he did some metal detecting and found like, you know, a bunch of pennies and he found an odd piece of like costume jewelry. At least I think it's costume jewelry. So yeah, they were just hounding around down in Arizona, finding stuff like this in their campground parking lots. I just can't imagine. So, if you know, you were wondering about a unique and unusual vacation destination for you and yours upon your retirement years, your golden years, consider just, you know, hounding the parking lots right after the rock shows. It's cracking me up, you guys. I'm sorry. I think it's epic. Hmm. Anyway, so like I say, they had some fun even just at the campground and in the parking lot of where they were staying and things like that, you know, little walks that they went on. But she went to one of the rock shops there in Quartzsite. And the guy, she just got such a kick out of the guy in there, the dude who was selling the rocks at the rock shop. She was trying to explain that I have a rock saw and that I do some stuff. And she's brand new. Definitely easier than climbing hills. She's brand new to rock hounding. I mean, absolutely brand new. And so she was kind of like trying to make a list. Me and Joseph were kind of trying to send her suggestions of stuff to keep her eyes out for. And she was trying to talk to the kid at the store and tell him, you know, well, we've got a saw. And he's like, well, how big? And she's like, I honestly don't know. And so he kind of gave her a mix of all kinds of stuff. Of course, there's a bunch of fire in here. Look at all I told you, I'm surrounded by bot holes today. I warned you guys. We're going to see some bot pockets. Hopefully you're not hungry. Grab a snack because these are going to make you just drool and oh so hungry. I'm telling you. Like, look at this one. Don't that make you hungry? Hungry. So yeah, him not knowing, her not knowing, he just kind of tried to send her with an assortment that we could play with. Love the little holes in that one. In all, and then she knows that we're doing some polishing and stuff, and so again, between the third, fourth communication down the telephone line, he's trying to interpret what she's trying to interpret, what he's trying to interpret, what she's trying to interpret, if you get what I'm saying. I think that between the lot of them, though, they did a wonderful job. This is just, you know, a small portion of this first little lot here that we're just going to zoom through because we are on a time crunch. Oh, I love this one. This one is so bizarre. Look at how sparkly that is. Oh my, oh my. I told you this was going to be a fun ride. And I did what I promised I would do last week, and I put all new batteries and everything all the way around, so we can see things if we want to. I'm sorry about that. Just bring me some SiO2, exactly, Ryan. I had, you know, maybe snuck in there some things like keep your eye out for gembone. I love these little guys. Aren't they just a blast? Jaspers, you know, things like that were kind of relayed through the interpretation again down the telephone line. And so, you'll see some jasper and some jasp agate and stuff in this mix as well. Some fire. So lots of little projects to, things to play with in this, and little agates, some of them for tumble, some of them for cutting, some of them for just the way they are. These are ones that this one's cool. These are ones that I have ran through the no meteorites now, and I didn't ask her to, Ryan. Someday I'd like to go down and hit the Tucson show and mingle and bump shoulders with the meteorite collectors down there. What was I saying before that, though? That's a pretty one. Oh, these have been through the ultrasonic, so I do have a little bit of this material that is not as cleaned up. Boy, you sure can see what's going on better after they've been through the ultrasonic. Look at that one. It's just like jelly. You see all the druzy and stuff definitely better, because she got like a gallon Ziploc bag of this mix. It's some of these, it's some fires, it's some, that's kind of a cutie. Here's another weird one. A little blue. Yeah, so again, not a bad little grab bag out of down the telephone wire sort of thing, Grapes of fire. That's freaking cool. I did not notice that he had a little green Klingon until he's got a he's got a pet rock, and it's green. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And it's been through the shit. Oh, it's got 2 pet rocks and they're green. And they've been through the Vibra Shaker, so they're good and in there. What? 3? No, stop it. They're in there. What in the world? That's too cool. Oh, it would have been funny, right, Ryan? Like I say, she was doing her best to kind of tell the kid, like, what we were planning on doing or hoping on doing with some of the material, like from cutting it to tumbling it and things like that. And again, he was asking all the right questions. Look, there's a butthole. How big is the saw? We're like, we have both a big saw and a little saw. So the telephone wire thing, the whole telephone game was, she did good, he did good. She absolutely had, like Lava just said in the chat, she had a blast. She really enjoyed shop hunting. Yeah, really, very much so. And like I say, she made out here with quite a few little goodies. This is just kind of round 1 here. Specifications with them, right? Or just tell her, like, pull up a couple of these YouTube videos and show it to the rock dealer dude so he knows what we mean. Well, thank you. Joseph and Rosie, glad you're back. Because there's so much to see today. And then, yeah, guys, I've got a video of yesterday's hunt and finds that will premiere just as soon as we're done here. And it was a shell of a good day on the prairie yesterday. So you be sure to check that out. If not right after this live, then, whenever you get a chance. So yeah, this is just, like I say, a little assortment. There's There's some jasper in this. There's some jasp agate in this. There's some fire agate. There's some just agate. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, hey there. Yum. Thank you, Chubby Hubby, for putting that link in there too, by the way. Jeez Louise. I told you if you were hungry, this was gonna make you, if you were hungry, this was gonna make you want to find something to snack on, because this stuff is kind of delicious for, I mean, you just, and these are still a little bit wet from being in the shaker. Look, this one's got green friends too. Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, you definitely don't see that kind of detail in this material fresh out of the bag. It really takes getting it in the shaker to get it to look like that. I'll show you. I've got some still that isn't finished. Let me grab it really quick. Oh, I still have tumbled rocks we're supposed to look at too. Oh, so I'm gonna scoop these back into the shaker basket really quick. Noisy, if you're in a headphone, please be careful right now. Those of you who enjoy rock noises, there you go. There was some rock noises for you. Okay, so this is what this material is looking like in the rough. And so it's not super dirty, really. It's not filthy or anything. It's just, we definitely see it better after it's been shook. All the little drusies and, you know, we get all of the crud out of those cracks, and they look a lot cleaner, so it would be fun. And I've saved a couple of rocks for her to try to cut when she comes over to see the equipment and stuff. So, but yeah, here's some more of that I haven't got shook yet. So we're going to shake it first and then decide what to do with it, because like I say, so much of that like botryoidal detail and little friends that are locked up inside you don't see it. Again, that'll be so pretty when it's all cleaned up. Oh my gosh. She did good. She really did good. Okay, so that's just like I say, one bag of material. She brought us some cutting rocks, some bigger stuff, and we've been blasting through it because you can't help oneself when you've got fun stuff. This rock is in the saw currently. I gotta finish cutting it, but it's kind of got a blurple color. Oh, thank you, by the way, for the memberships there. Let me ring the bell as soon as I get these out of my hands. All right, let me drop these right here real quick and ring the bell for Bison. Right on. Right on. Some good members there that got gifted too. Let's see. This was a freebie rock that he gave her. And he gave her a couple of little freebie rocks. Like I say, she absolutely got a kick out of this. The shop owner, as he was going through stuff, like she would ask him for agates or for jaspers, and he would go get whatever, you know, agate, jasper, and kind of bring it out to her and be like, this is cool. They'll like this. They'll get a kick out of this. Or this is kind of a new material. Maybe you should give this a try. And he would get it out and he'd be like, really, you've got to see it wet, right? And so he would like wet these rocks for her. Or this is really cool underneath of a UV light. And he is just delighted about showing her this stuff. I love that little fort in there, that little fortification banding in there. And he was cracking her up because he would go get something and show it to her and get it wet and be like, oh, I didn't realize how nice this was. Like, oh, maybe I should go put this back in the collection, in my private collection somewhere. Oh, I just didn't realize how gorgeous this piece was. And it was cracking her up a little bit. So this is a freebie rock that he gave her because they just, I mean, they spent some time together and visited, and he was teaching her all kinds of stuff, and they thoroughly enjoyed each other's company. So yeah, the story of the rock shop guy. Like I say, I wish I could give credit to the shop she went to, but I just cannot recall. Is it a stick agate? Does anybody know? I called it a stick agate. Having fun and working the crowd. Exactly, Ryan. Rediscovering some of the treasures in your collection and enjoying talking with your customer. Yeah, no doubt, right? That's like an optical illusion. That looks so deep right there, and it's flat as flat could be. Anyway, yeah, I called that a stick agate. I don't know if I'm right or not. Here was a like yummy little jaspery dude. Come on. There we go. And I looked at the outside of this rock and was like, could there be some eyes inside? You know, I am a sucker for some eyes. So I commenced to cutting that one rather quickly too. And I don't, think I got really eyes or anything, but they're not gorgeous, right? Oh my. Like that one got a little eyeball-y. But that one like kind of more looks like clouds. That one kind of got eye too. Maybe a little bit of both, right? Joseph and Rosie, I don't know yet. If I'll make jewelry out of them. Whoops, I missed one in that bunch. If I'll make jewelry out of them or if I'll polish them up and, wire wrap them after I tumble them, I just haven't yet thoroughly decided. And there's so much of this too that, I could be kind of choosy and send some of the rest of it through the tumbler. We should do that. Oh, owie. And then last but not least here, there's some crazy. She really liked the crazy lace. By the end of the trip, she was starting to make some preferences about, I don't know what that is in there, if that's blue is a part of that rock or if that's some kind of contamination. That's bizarre. I'm really not sure what to make of that. But yeah, she started making some rock preferences. I think that's something that came off their saw or something. Somebody else's saw or something, or some ink. He was like writing the prices on the rocks and stuff. Anyway, and then Lava polished a piece of that up too. Let's see, what time is it? We still have a few minutes, so we're gonna keep plowing through. Like I say, we're hurrying through today. They did agree on some bigger stuff, which I'm also real excited about. Yeah, she picked up a few really nice lace pieces. Quite a few, actually. Some of them bigger, some of them smaller. I'm kind of looking over my shoulder to see like what all she's got here. Some of them bigger, some of them smaller. That's going to be a fun one though. Holy moly. And let's see. Oh, she picked up some. Oh my gosh, yeah. She had a bit of a heyday down there. Real good time. Oh, this one. Speaking of lace, like I say, she kind of started making an idea of like what she was really liking and not. So yeah, look at that piece. It might be ocean jasper. It's funny because she would try to keep track of it and label some of the bags. And and I'm not picking on her, or I'm really not, because she's still learning, but it kind of cracked me up a little bit. She had labeled one of the bags and she was like, "Yeah, it's an agate and it's this kind." And she's like, I don't know." And she's like trying to I think she's giving me like a location name or a type name, right? And she's like, "I don't know how it's pronounced." And then she starts to spell it Chalc, and I was like, Chalcedony? I was like, that's just another word for agate. So that gave me no information, but she did try. Look at that, Jasper. So again, she's like brand new, and like, look at her getting in there, picking some fancy stuff out. Again, she had a little help from the store guy who would every once in a while pull something out and be like, "Oh no, I don't know. That's pretty nice. I better put that back in the collection." But regardless, she came home with some cool stuff. Here's a neat old Jasper. Will be fun stuff to cut. Let's carry on real quick. She got some blue, and again some blue agate or agate. You know, she didn't know that chalcedony meant the same thing as agate. This one's awesome though. Look at this. Doing like a common opal thing up here. Like, I almost don't even know if I can cut that, man. That's stinking pretty. Okay, maybe I could cut some of it just because I bet it's interesting, but maybe not this bit of it up here. We'll have to keep that, you know, for specimen. But yeah, wowzer, huh? How's that for a blue? I bet that's cool after a shaker too. Like, I wonder what a trip to the ultrasonic would do to that. Yeah, I've never seen one quite like that. Sure you can. And then here's another like handful of the rest of the blues she picked up, which are also very nice. Like, and again, what do you do with them? Do you tumble them? Oh, that one's almost purple. And she learned how to play with the UV light. She had a blast, an absolute blast. And then when they came home and we went over and picked this up, and her and I went through it all together too. We were like oohing and on under the UV with each other and all kinds of fun stuff. And yeah, she was, like I say, telling me all the stories about finding the rocks in the parking lot. And yeah, hearing the guy at the shop get all excited about these pieces as he brought them out to show to her and stuff. It was just so fun to sit with her and visit. There they are. And we have just a few more minutes to hang out with each other before the premiere. I'm excited about the premiere. I found it was a shell of a good day out here on the prairie. I found some very interesting things. A couple of the usual pet woods and stuff, but they weren't bad. And Some really neat fossil-y stuff. It was a good day. It was a great day. Whoops, I dropped a little one. So we got to look at half of the vibratory tumbled stuff last show, and the rest of it was still getting cleaned up in the ultrasonic. And again, I'd said last time, like, this is a field find. Quartz, this isn't a field find, but a pet wood. I'd said last time that I was still like in the learning phase of like, how do you, he is too, how do you tumble these? How do you clean these? You know, how do you work the vibratory tumbler? How's the best way to get the best result out of it? We haven't maybe nailed that down yet. We're getting there. But I think that this batch is a lot cleaner than the last batch. And I think I've kind of found the magic combination between ultrasonic and brushing and ultrasonic again. So gotta try. What? Opal guy? Face polish to slab and cab. The host material and matrix can look great along the purple parts. Yeah, for sure. To hypersonic. And then to ludicrous speed. Get ready for the speed of ludicrous. This is some AZ stuff, I think. I'm pretty sure of it. And then I think that this was a Theo Kellison piece. So our Yellowstone River find there. AZ stuff here. We've gone plaid. Prairie find here. Prairie find. Ooh, but look at all the sparkly stuff down in there. Can I get it to show you? There was one little. There's two little, like, sparkles. There go a couple. Yeah, you know, little brecciated jasper here. Thank you, Wild. Another little prairie find here. Little prairie rock. A very, very, very dark pet wood. A little prairie rock. Okay, we got through that bag pretty quick. Let's look through the other one, because there's still more. Lava Bison successfully KO'd the shaker. I told him I was proud of him, and I thought it deserved some kind of a, you know, gold sticker or something, because I've done it once, and it took me a long time to do it. So, oh, that's super stunning. I don't even know where that came from. Is that my freaking rock? That might be my rock, you guys. Oh my God. This last batch of tumbles is first where I started with stage 2 in the Vibe Tumbler. Earlier batches, I would rotary first and then second stage. Yeah, you know, and we haven't really... Hi, Rick. Welcome. We haven't really played around, Ryan, with that yet. Shake her down. Shake. That combination of things yet. In fact, I've really been slacking on my tumbler, like, big time. I need to get it going again. My dog agrees. I don't know if you guys could hear her or not. Here's the other half of that AZ rock. What? The door's open. Why are you getting so pesky when I go live? Yeah, anyways, so it really isn't made for doing rocks, right? It's made for, like, polishing ammo or whatever, right? And he ran it like a banshee there for a minute. That's a pretty Montana. And finally wore a hole in the plastic shake bowl that was with that machine. So he ordered a new bowl, and it's here, and it's definitely more heavy duty. Looks like it's maybe more made for rocks. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, I was like, congratulations. I wore a hole in the lid of my Nat Geo tumbler, rotary tumbler. But man, I ran it for like 3, 4, 5 years or something. Maybe not as constantly as I have been running my tumbler lately, but I did run it for a long time before I finally blew the lid out. I just literally wore a hole right in the lid. That's a stunning piece. Just eventually wore it right. And it was one of those really awesome, super thick, durable rubber barrels. So that is a thing that you can possibly do. Hey, Josh, welcome. Yeah, look how clean I got those, you guys. I think I've got the magic combination figured out between the ultrasonic and I'm still just using a regular toothbrush. I haven't yet shanghaied my adult child's electronic toothbrush, but I probably will. But yeah, I feel like I've done a much better job on this round than the last one of getting the polishing dust out of the cracks. And, you know, if I was really serious about polishing and if lava were as well, then we would be sure to not put rocks with cracks in the polish. But come on. Sometimes it's those little features that make them quite delightful in the end. So this might be a Yellowstone piece. This might be a Theo Kellison piece. Oh my gosh. So yummy. Mmm. Mm-hmm. I do believe again here, Theo. We got a little bag from one of Theo's auctions a while back, and we're able to cut and process some of that material. It was been fun. There's a real dark petwood, but the outside is very pretty. Here's another petwood. Yeah, sometimes those little tiny little things are most charming. What is that? What is that? Oh, that's a piece of that green material. I gave a little bit of that out in the April box giveaway. In the March box giveaway. I haven't done the April one yet. I'm kind of surprised that doesn't flash us. Oh, I kind of looked at it every direction too, and it didn't. That's my stuff. There's a little piece of sodalite. Oh, little tiny bits of Montana that either broke off or were intentionally put in there to kind of even the mix. That fell off of that cab over there. Let's see. That's a Montana. That's a local piece. There's a piece of my stuff that's kind of yummy. Yeah, the Dawn really seems to do a good job cutting the final grit. Any of it, really. Like, I put literally just the teensy weensiest drop of Dawn dish soap in my tumbler barrels, my rotary tumble barrels, to clean them between stages. And you can see when the Dawn hits the thing, it just like, it spreads out and it like just totally cuts the crud in the tumbling grit. That's a local find. Pretty little thing. Here's some Montana agate. And I've heard of doing the shaved ivory bar, and I've heard of doing the borax and all of that stuff. I don't, maybe don't fuss about them as much as I should. But yeah, good stuff. Here's an AZ piece for sure. We should hit that with the... Oh, it does a little. Hang on, I don't want to blind you guys. That's cool. That's a good one too. My local stuff. A little piece of quartz. No big deal. What's that? It's kind of colorful. Yeah, that's fun. And a little quartz. And another little quartz. And another little quartz. Whoops. Sorry, I don't know why I turned the flashlight on, because I'm holding it down. I'm going through all of the stages, and I looked right at it and I blinded myself. Wow, that was fun. Why did I do that to me? All right. So yeah, I'm plumb impressed with how those are turning out personally. And I'm excited to get some of the new stuff that Mama Bison and Papa Bison brought back from Arizona. I'm excited to get some of that, you know, processed. Like I say, some of that is done, you know, is good enough and to done, right? Like some of that just really needed cleaned up in the ultrasonic. And now that it is, you know, what more could you want with it? It's great just the way it is now. And then some of it, you know, could definitely go to the tumbler. Some of this could get cut. And again, that's just a portion of what she brought. She did bring rocks for the big saw. She did bring rocks for the little saw. She did, yeah, she nailed it, man. She brought rocks that glow under the UV light. She brought rocks that, yeah, she did a really good job. So, excuse me. Can be looking forward to seeing that stuff coming up in kind of like AZ stuff kind of mixed into here, you know. Here's, let's see, or some Theo stuff, you know, kind of mixed into the goodies here and there. You'll probably start to see some of the, you know, crazy, well, it's actually, let me just show you really quick because it is really pretty, and Lava's been doing a really good job. So Lava's been playing on the flat lap, and he's been doing some mighty fine work, if I do say so myself. I get better light back here, so I'm just going to show it back here really quick, and then I'll shove it up to the camera. And then it does a little, oops, sorry. It does some here and there, especially down in that little druzy pocket. Look at the banding in there. Yeah, I agree. And welcome, Patricia. I don't know if I said hi to you. You're just popping in. You're just getting in here just at the end. So yeah, he domed, like I say, I'll shove it up closer now so so that you guys can see it better. He domed that piece and played with the live edge. The live edge on that piece is worth it. And then this one, nice girdle, nice dome, nice polish. Mirror finish on that thing. Way to go, Lava Bison. And again, he played with a little bit of live edge up there. Left that crystal in there. I don't know what she wants from me. Yeah, so been lots going on up here. Like, holy cow, a lot. And hopefully the weather stays nice for the rest of the week so that I can get out and find some more really cool stuff. Yeah, little chert rocks, little prairie agates, little fossil rocks, whatever, pet woods, you know, the usual thing. Maybe the occasional dino bone if I'm not asking for too much. And who knows, maybe I'll find a meteorite soon, you know, someday before I die. All right. The premiere is set to start 27, 22, like in 3 minutes, somewhere between 2 and 3 minutes. So we'll sing the song really quick, and then we'll all bounce on over and watch yesterday's. It was so cold, I got goosebumps on my cheek. I hate when that happens. It started out when I went out, like I say, kind of got nice towards the evening. And when I went out at like 5 o'clock, it was, you know, pretty good. I was like, I'll take a coat, though it's, you know, I'll please have a coat. But by the time I was done and as soon as the sun went behind the cloud, I was like, oh God, Burr. What comment above am I looking for, Rick? Did Tomcat do stuff? Did Lava do stuff? Did I miss a chat, a super chat or something? Oh, I see it now, Rick. Yep. Very good. I'm glad. Oh, thank you, Rick. Glad to hear that. Thanks for following up. And yeah, I'll see you guys over at the, we're going to skip the song too, because you're going to get it on the other video. So if you want the song today, be sure to go watch the premiere that starts, you know, literally, well, they do this, it's the noisy one too again today, by the way, there's your warning. It's the noisy intro, but we'll run, you know, the intro for a couple minutes. So we're not running too late yet. Chubby Hubby did put the link in there. And so I am looking forward to kicking back and enjoying your guys' reaction of the shell of a good day on the prairie finds. Just a sneak peek here. It was a shell of a good day. It was a shell of a good day. All right, we'll see you guys over there. I'm gonna go get a fresh cup of coffee. Hey, Cody. And we're going to go watch them premiere. Chubby Hubby put the link in the chat. And if you don't have the link in the chat, just click on my channel and head on over. We're going to watch that together and see what I found yesterday when it wasn't freezing. There it is. There's my notification for it. See you guys there. Thanks for stopping in. Good to see you guys. Happy hump day. Hope you have a good rest of the week.